So, we're often told that a 9 to 5 job is the safest path you can take, right? But is that actually true? In this explainer, we're going to take a closer look at that idea and talk about the myth of the single paycheck.
I mean, we've all heard this a million times. It's the advice we grew up with, the idea many of us have built our entire lives around, that your 9 to 5 salary is safe, it's predictable, it's reliable, it's secure. And it's a really comforting thought to have. But the truth is, it's a bit of a myth. That feeling of complete security is often an illusion, and wow, it can shatter in an instant. Let's talk about what I call the stability myth. From a pretty young age, the corporate job is kind of held up as the ultimate goal. It's sold to us as the very definition of stability. You know, the smart, responsible path to take.
And you can totally see why it's so appealing. It's built on these three pillars: a steady monthly salary that you can count on, a clear structure for your days and career, and just this general sense of predictability. It all feels really, really safe. But here's the thing. That foundation of stability, it has some hidden cracks, and the reality is it can all crumble much, much faster than we ever like to imagine. Just think about how fast things can change. All it takes is one company reorg, one new manager with a totally different plan, or one unexpected round of layoffs. And just like that, the ground completely shifts under your feet.
And it's not just about those big dramatic events either. The real issue is the day-to-day reality that even in a job that feels perfectly secure, so much of your career is just not in your hands.
Seriously, think about it. Ever feel frustrated by the lack of promotions? Or get sidelined by office politics? What about having a boss who just doesn't seem to see your value? The fact is, a lot of the most critical decisions about your future are made in rooms you're not even in. So this gets us to the true risk here, the unspoken danger. When you have only one source of income, your entire financial life is essentially balanced on the head of a pin. Let's just say this is you. You've got a solid, comfortable salary, it pays the bills, you're saving a bit, life is pretty good. This single number represents your entire livelihood. And then, the floor just drops out from under you. That single point of failure gives way. Your new salary? Zero. And what's kind of terrifying here is that your income doesn't just get smaller. It doesn't get cut in half. It drops straight to zero. Overnight. The money tap is just turned off. And then the clock starts ticking. Because finding a new comparable job isn't instant. It can take weeks, but more often it takes months. Months of searching, interviewing, and waiting, all while your income is still zero.
Now look, pointing all this out isn't about trying to scare you. It's about making a responsible shift in how we think about our careers. It's simply about being realistic about the world we're in today.
This is such a powerful way to reframe it. The idea of having a side project or another income stream isn't being disloyal to your main job. No way. It's being responsible for yourself and your family. It's just smart personal risk management. So you have these two mindsets. On the one hand, there's perceived stability. That's when you're dependent on one paycheck and subject to all those decisions you don't control. But on the other hand, you have real stability. That's built on multiple streams. It's about having options and being in control.
Okay, so how do we actually build that real security? What does the path forward really look like?
Well, it starts with things you probably already have. Think about your skills. Could you do some consulting on the side? What about that passion project you work on at night? Could that become an income stream? You could also look at things like investments or even creating digital products. Each one is a building block for real financial resilience.
And if you take away just one thing from all this, let it be this right here. This is the key. Real, lasting stability in your life doesn't come from a single paycheck, no matter how big it is. It comes from having options.
So I'll just leave you with this question. This isn't about making some drastic change tomorrow. It's about taking one small, intentional step. What's one thing you could do, maybe even this week, to start building another option for yourself, to really protect your own future?